children, murder, genocide, mechanics of death, all through the sky.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages, it is me, Mild Kevin Miles. And yes, I just had to race into my office. Don't even have my lights on right. Okay. I had to go fill up my water. I thought I had my water and I didn't have any water. I didn't have anything to drink. Twitch is not letting me stream. Holy shit. Okay, well, let me try to remove Twitch. Let's see if I could add a different. There we go. There, now we're live on X instead. Twitch won't let me stream. Not sure what's up with that. Um, but yes, we're doing the State of the Union, a live roast. And ladies and gentlemen, we got bingo. We're going to be playing bingo with the State of the Union address. Let me go ahead and mute the stream real quick, or mute the feed real quick. Let me bring that up. See, this is going to be our our feed for the night. We're going to be playing some bingo. Yeah, if you're in the chat, I'm not drinking whiskey tonight, but cheers to great liquor out there. And welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're gonna be roasting Biden today. Let's go ahead and see what they're talking about on Fox. His age and his fitness for office. I'm hoping that I added it to the bingo. Oh, let me take my name off the screen so you could actually see the damn bingo card. Show display names. No. Okay, there we go. All right. Looks like we're getting gavelled in here in just a minute. Yeah, I went live a few minutes early just so that we can make sure everything is stable and everything is awesome. So yeah, we are actually back on StreamYard, so I will not be using Rumble Studio tonight. Go ahead and take the Outlast haters off the screen and the banner here. And we'll just do it this way. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. No banners. The only branding's my little watermark there, just above the Fox feed. Okay, so we're settled in. So, yeah, on the bingo, we got a politically expedient audience member. You know, every time they give one of these speeches, there's always, somebody was affected by this policy in the ninth row. Okay, so we got that. We got if he says Bidenomics. All these with quotes are if he says those words. So Bidenomics. If he lies about Afghanistan. If he says something racially insensitive. If he mentions his mental fitness. If he takes credit for what Trump did. If he mentions Trump's legal issues. Oh, we got the Supreme Court coming in. Our 9 fascists, as the left wing likes to call them this week. Okay, so if he mentions ice cream, if he says LGBTQ plus, and yes, I will give you credit if he goes LGBTQ. I'll give you credit for that. If he falls down, if he wanders around the stage aimlessly, or if he freezes, and that includes right now when he's about to walk up. If he says Israel, if he blames the Republican Party not passing that shitty bill for the border security issues. Hey man is kind of like a free space. He's obviously gonna say hey man, but even if he doesn't, the fact that he's there and halfway coherent, call it a free space. If he mentions his son Bo, if he mentions his son Hunter down here, if he mentions fentanyl, if he takes credit for Obama era wins, and that includes like me and Barack, we got this done. Even if he gives Barack credit, him taking credit as a unit with with Barack, yeah, definitely. Great Ligger says I give him 30 minutes till the stimulants start wearing off. Yeah, the the adrenochrome. If he mentions white supremacy, if he mentions insurrection, if he claims Trump will do an evil thing. So this is obviously the MSNBC talking point right now of, you know, Trump's going to get revenge, he's going to go after his political enemies, or Trump's going to do this fascist thing, he's going to declare martial law, or this might be the last election we'll ever see if he gets in there. If he says something like that, it could be anything remotely like that, just claiming doom and gloom on the horizon under Donald Trump in a tyrannical fashion. Um, we can give you credit for that one. If he mispronounces a name, now it could just be a simple mispronouncement, like let's see, Amy Barrett Coney. It could be a simple thing like that, or it could be outright just naming the wrong country, like instead of saying Poland, saying Russia or something. If he says Scranton, every one of these speeches he likes to talk about. Oh, when I was a young boy growing up in Scranton, all that shit. If he blames Republicans and Trump for his fuck up. Now, you notice this is different than the border. If it's not the border, you don't, if he mentions the border, you don't get credit for both spaces. This is like anything else. This is like the economy. This is COVID. This is anything. If he's blaming Donald Trump for something he clearly did wrong in the first couple years of his presidency, we will give you credit for that. If he says an inappropriate comment about children, now this could just be, we got Senator so and so here with his lovely daughter, anything that simple. If he just remotely like flirts about a children, and then of course the last one is Ukraine. He's going to talk about Ukraine, so that's going to be hitting in pretty good. And I'll try to, let's see. Waiting President Biden State of the Union. Okay, so we're going to be waiting a little bit, apparently. Now, my stimulants might start wearing off if he doesn't get going soon. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna go back to myself at full screen for just a minute, and I'm gonna tinker a little bit with uh, the bingo board here, just so that I can add dots to it here. Image. Nope, I need to create a new image. I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I played with OBS. It's been a long time since I've played with OBS. So let's try this. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll use my logo. We'll use my paper plate logo as bingo dots. How about that? Oh, but it won't let me make it that small. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it'll make it that small. Okay. Okay. So let me make that big again. Okay. So we got our first bingo dot ready. Let's go ahead and bring that back up. We got our first bingo dot ready and waiting underneath the video. Yeah. We go and make sure we're completely live. We're not behind the feed any. And yeah, hopefully StreamYard. And of course, StreamYard hopefully will be more stable than Rumble Studio has been. We've had a lot of browser crashes because Rumble Studio wasn't working well. So obviously this is Fox. Fox is kind of trolling Biden and the Democrats that you got a bunch of left wingers outside calling him, genocide. So this is quite interesting. Food, not F-35s. Oh, there you had Ted Cruz. There you got Mitt Romney. Okay, so we have the pro-Palestinian protesters are occupying the very route that the Secret Service planned to take Biden to the Capitol. Unclear if Secret Service has a different route in mind or will clear hundreds of protesters. Holy shit. Is that why he's late? We can't get to the Capitol. We can't get to the Capitol because there are protesters in the fucking way. Now, oh my god. Oh my god. Would would this be a criminal interruption of an official proceeding? Huh? Would this be a criminal interruption of an official proceeding by left-wingers? I think it just might be. They said that's what January Sixers were guilty of, trying to stop a congressional act. Well, this is Congress meeting, a function of government, the State of the Union. That's quite interesting. Hell yeah, go Thomas Massey. So apparently Thomas Massey has Julian Assange's brother somewhere in the audience tonight. Wow, Joe Biden is late in Nick Rekieta. He's late in Nick Rekieta. Wow. Can't believe Joe Biden is late to his own State of the Union. Here, I'll go ahead and bring back up the bingo card here and da, da, da. I'll go ahead and move that over onto the Heyman free space. Let's do that. Da, 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 da. Yeah, move that token over onto the free space. And let's see. I can't duplicate that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can. Paste, duplicate. Okay. And so I'll just duplicate the little mild logo and move it around the board as we have bingo going on as he completes bingo squares. Okay, that's weird. I'm getting texts that I already saw. Notifications. All right. Oh yeah. I should have put that on the bingo card, but man, I really don't know what I would have taken off. The squad. The squad. Oh shit. Hey, we got Shut Up I Can Cook over on YouTube. Cheers and welcome. Keep refreshing. Yeah. Well, sorry you had that issue. I'm hoping everything stays stable tonight. I am using StreamYard instead of Rumble Studio, and I'm using Brave browser instead of fucking Microsoft Edge. Pardon my language. I know Cookie doesn't like it when I use the language. So we got bingo card going on. Cookie says it's going fine. Good, good, good. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. You can't get the National Guard to corral those protesters away from the Capitol so you can get the president in there? Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna bring the volume back down. They're just rambling, and of course, we got Sonia Sotomayor there. Oh, here comes Jill Biden, Doctor Jill. We got Doctor Jill in the house. We got Doctor Jill in the house. That must mean they're getting the needle ready to give old Joe his adrenochrome and send him out. We got a standing ovation for Dr. Jill. Oh, we got Nancy in the house. Got Nancy in the house for the first time in years. She's not behind the gavel. Okay, we got the cabinet members. Look at that shit. New Yorkers yelling. Ugh, god damn. Never has one room stunk so much of tyranny and oppression. And then yeah, you got old Kamala behind the thing there. Uh-oh. That didn't happen right. Oops. I was going to use a green screen for myself. Here, let me do this real. Yeah, yeah. See, there we go. There we got the green. That was supposed to be my green screen tonight, but I fucked it all up, and I'm using OBS instead. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Sorry about that, folks. None. Okay, there we go. There we go. Sorry about that. I thought it would just do me up here, but then I forgot I was using OBS and it's all broadcasting up. Shut up, I can cook. I just saw in the news the National Guard or some soldiers deployed in New York City subways because of increasing violence. Yeah, we covered that on the show last night, Cookie. Yeah, when you're soft on crime, crime increases. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously, having troops and state police and New York City police and transit police all working together to harass people just trying to get to work is the only way to take care of crime. It's not like they could just arrest people and not give them fucking no bail and just release them back out on the streets. You have to be hard on the law abiding people just trying to fucking get to work. This is what happens. You get the giant city like New York City, where you try to create a culture where nobody has a car or nobody has the freedom to travel, and then you force everyone to use this train system, and then say, "Oh, well, to keep people safe, we gotta violate your Fourth Amendment and check your bags in order for you to be able to travel around the city." It's tyranny at its best. Oh dear Lord, he's just now leaving the White House. Oh my lord, we're gonna. Oh man, this is gonna go all night. This is gonna go all night. Okay, we got Trump. The president's very substantially late. Not a good start, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he had very important things to do, but he's just not getting. Okay, so they were reading this. Okay, thankfully, maybe he's there now. Shit, they. You can't even drive down the streets of Kansas City without smelling marijuana. It's crazy. We got Sanglan86 showing up over on the Rumble chat. Welcome, brother. Cheers. Where are the masks? I don't know. I kind of have a feeling like I shouldn't have put anything about COVID, or did I put anything about COVID? I was going to put something about COVID on the bingo card, but I guess I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because it seems like, Democrats just wanna act like COVID never happened. Let me turn this down a little bit. Oh, the Swedish Prime Minister. The Swedish Prime Minister is next to Doctor Jill. Was that Lauren Boebert? Looking like she wants to get fingered in the gallery? Looking like she wants to get groped in a theater? Somebody tell Lauren Boebert that this isn't the Beetlejuice show. She's looking like a snack. So that's what's gonna happen. You know, half this whole thing is gonna be him bragging about getting Sweden into NATO. Hey, we got Demon's Wrath over there on Rumble. Cheers, brother. Welcome. Not drinking the whiskey tonight because I've already went over my calories for the day, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm still doing the calorie counting. We got Fox just rambling and rambling. They don't know what to talk about either. I don't know what to do, folks. I mean, hopefully we'll get a State of the Union address tonight. Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay, so let's be on the lookout. Let's see if he stumbles or falls or freezes. Okay, we're gonna bring up the volume. I don't know if that's wandering. I don't think it is. I think he intends to stop. Man, he thinks he's a fucking movie star. Look how excited he is that everyone's excited to see him. I think being fucking 20 minutes late was a scam just to make him feel better. Demon's Wrath says, "I hope he drops a load in his pants." Well, I hope he wiped his butt. Is he saying something inappropriate about her kids? I can't hear what he's saying. Oh, yeah. We got Scrooge McSchumer coming in behind him. Oh, and there's Mitch McConnell there too, shitting in his pants. Pardon my language, Cookie. Marjorie Taylor Greene wearing a 45 hat. Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to get him to say that victim's name. Oh dear lord. Okay, we may have to get rid of Fox. If Fox keeps interrupting and talking over whatever's going on. me see. Let me see. I don't have a Truth Social account. Okay, Great Liquor says RSBN is also showing Trump truth messages. Yeah, I'm trying to bring up. Cookie, how do you extricate these oligarchs from office? Well, that's just it. You gotta take control. Oh my god, True Social, I think, is crashing. It won't let me create an account. Isn't there? Yes. Posts from the Trump Truth Social. Okay, I'll try to copy paste from that Twitter account, but they're not posting the new shit. Oh, yeah, I think Truth Social has crashed. Everyone's saying it's crashed. I'm gonna see if I can't find RBSN. Oh, dear lord. I've gotta mute these people. They're talking and talking and talking. But yeah, how do you, extricate these oligarchs from office? Well, part of the issue is you gotta get average morons to believe that, uh, the chicken and egg mentality of, well, I can't vote for someone if they have no chance to win. And the problem is you have CNN and MSNBC that whenever you have a pro freedom candidate, immediately they're like, oh, they have no chance to win. And as soon as you have people hearing that, oh, that person has no chance to win, they'll never vote for him. People only vote for winners. And so as a voter, you have to just reject that and be like, no, they have a chance to win if I support them, if I amplify their message, and if I vote for them. And if I back the candidate who has good policies, who has a freedom message, regardless of whether or not they can win, if I vote my principles and if I support my principles, then that person could have a chance. And damn the mainstream media and damn the Republicans and Democrats for trying to shit on my candidate. Now, again, I say that, but we tried that with Ron Paul. Democrats tried that with Bernie Sanders. They're going to try their best to stick their oligarchs and push their oligarchs and do whatever they can. Uh, but yeah, founder said we get the government we deserve. They gave us a republic. Quote: If you can keep it. Yeah, Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin. So let me see if I can find RBSN's feed. And I'll keep, let's see. I wonder, I don't think we'll, let me see if I can window capture RBSN's feed. I see the problem is I can't do. Let me see if I could do this here. I'm going to see if I can't. Because I don't like their split screen. So I'm going to try to get it to where we're just seeing the Donald Trump stuff on there. Let me see if I can. See if I can help you folks add as much as we can to it. I might start lagging out with my video, RBSN's video, and Fox's video all going on at the same time in OBS, but we'll see here. We've got a Trump tweet on the screen right now. Crooked Joe is making his way to the chamber. Very disrespectful to some, not good. Okay, so we got the Trump tweets in the bottom right corner of the screen now. And again, that's going to change as RBSN changes their feed, but we'll try to keep it up as long as we can. Yeah, let me go back to StreamYard and see if he. Oh, okay. Cookie steadily downhill since the 19th. Oh, he's talking shit. Push the lever and flush him. Yeah. You mispronounced Lincoln. We're going to count that on bingo. Oh, wait. It didn't save. What the hell? Okay, there we go. Cookie says she can't hear Biden. What the hell? Oh my God. Oh my God. I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. And we can't do it this way. Shit. It's StreamYard. I gotta do it this way.
To keep it that
Gotta
way.
do it this way. I'll see if I can rearrange my little mini windows over here.
Assistance to Ukraine is being blocked by those who want to walk away from our world leadership. Wasn't long ago when a Republican president named Ronald Reagan thundered, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, "Do whatever the hell you want."
Oh, shit.
That's a quote. A former president actually said that, bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm trying to find a way.
America is a founding member of NATO. The military
Hey, can you
alliance
hear
of
it when I do
democratic
this?
nations
Can you
created
still
after
hear it?
World War II to prevent war and keep the peace. And today, we've made NATO stronger than ever. We welcomed Finland to the alliance last year. And just this morning, Sweden
Someone tell me if
officially
we still have
joined,
audio.
and their minister is here tonight. I'm going to stand up. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And they know how to fight. Mr. Prime Minister, welcome to NATO, the strongest military alliance the world has ever seen. I say this to Congress, we have to stand up to Putin. Send me a bipartisan national security bill. History is literally watching. History is watching. If the United States walks away, it will put Ukraine at risk. Europe is at risk. The free world will be at risk, emboldening others to do what they wish to do us harm. My message to President Putin, who I've known for a long time, is simple. We will not walk away.
Wow.
We will not bow down. I will not bow down. In a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching. Just like history watched 3 years ago on January 6th. When insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American democracy. Many of you are here on that darkest of days. We all saw with our own eyes the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people. January 6th lies about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election posed a gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil War. But they failed. America stood. America stood strong and democracy prevailed. We must be honest. The threat to democracy must be defended. My predecessor and some of you here seek to bury the truth about January 6th. I will not do that. This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country only when you win. As I've done ever since being elected to office, I ask all of you without regard to party to join together and defend democracy. Remember your oath of office of defending against all threats.
You should have put democracy on
domestic.
the bingo.
Respect free and fair elections. Restore trust in our institutions. And make clear political violence has absolutely no place.
Yes,
no place in America. Zero place. Again, it's not hyperbole to suggest history is watching. We're watching. Your children and grandchildren will read about this day and what we do. History is watching another assault on freedom. Joining us tonight is Latoya Beasley, a social worker from Birmingham, Alabama.
There we go.
14 months ago.
I called it.
14 months ago, she and her husband welcomed a baby girl thanks to the miracle of IVF. She scheduled treatments to have that second child.
In vitro fertilization.
The Alabama Supreme Court shut down IVF treatments across the state, unleashed by a Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. She was told her dream would have to wait. What her family had got through should never have happened. Unless Congress acts, it could happen again. So tonight, let's stand up for families like hers. To my friends across the aisle, don't keep this waiting any longer. Guarantee the right to AVF. Guarantee it nationwide. Like most Americans, I believe Roe v. Wade got it right. I thank Vice President Harris for being an incredible leader, defending reproductive freedom and so much more.
Wow. Wow. Here we go.
Thank you. My predecessor came to office determined to see Roe v. Wade overturned. He's the reason it was overturned, and he brags about it. Look at the chaos that has resulted. Joining us tonight is Kate Cox, the wife and mother from Dallas. She's become pregnant again and had a fetus of a fatal condition. Her doctor told Kate that her own life.
We covered this story
and
on
ability
Miles
to have
Culture Plate.
Children in the future were at risk if she didn't act. Because Texas law banned her ability to act, Kate and her husband had to leave the state to get what she needed. What her family got through should have never happened as well, but it's happening in too many others. There are state laws banning the freedom to choose.
What's the problem?
Criminalizing doctors, forcing survivors of rape and incest to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom. My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following, and with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you're right about that. Clearly.
Women have political power. He says while there is literally a woman vice president behind him.
Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women, but they found out.
Those claiming that all women are for killing babies
2022 and 2020,
we'll
and
find
we won
out
again in 2024.
What about 2020? Oh, yeah, okay.
If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
I mean, not gonna happen, sir.
Folks, America cannot go back. I'm here tonight to show what I believe
America
the way forward.
cannot go back.
Because I know how far we come. 4 years ago next week,
no making America great again.
The country was hit by the worst pandemic and the worst economic crisis in a century. Remember the fear, record losses. Remember the spikes in crime and the murder rate, raging virus that took more than 1 million American lives of loved ones, millions left behind. A mental health crisis of isolation and loneliness. A president, my predecessor, failed the most basic presidential duty.
I'm going to call this blames Trump for his fuck up.
I think that's unforgivable. I came to office determined to get us through one of the toughest periods in the nation's history. We have. It doesn't make news, but news in 1,000 cities and towns. The American people are writing the greatest comeback story never told.
No. Comeback story. Comeback story. This fucking White House gaslights it.
Now. America's comeback is building the future of American possibilities, building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down, investing in all America, in all Americans, to make sure everyone has a fair shot. We leave no one behind. The pandemic no longer controls our lives. The vaccine that saved us from COVID are now being used to beat cancer, turning setback into comeback. That's what America does. That's what America does.
Okay, he's not taking credit for it yet. If he takes credit for the vaccine and the comeback, even though I hate the vaccine, I'm giving him credit for taking credit for Trump.
The economy is on the brink. Now our economy is literally the envy of the world. 15 million new jobs in just 3 years, a record. A record. Unemployment at 50-year lows.
Okay, yep, I'm
A record 16 million Americans are starting small businesses, and each one is a literal act of hope. With historic job growth and small business growth for Black and Hispanics and Asian Americans, 800,000 new manufacturing jobs in America and counting. Where is it written we can't be the manufacturing capital of the world? We are, we will.
takes credit for Trump thing.
More people have health insurance today. More people have health insurance today than ever before. The racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years. Wages keep going up. Inflation keeps coming down. Inflation has dropped from 9% to 3%, the lowest in the world, and 10 years
Yeah,
lower.
because interest rates have been insane. Of course inflation is going to go down when you shut down the printers.
And now, instead of importing foreign
by
products
making
and
loans
exporting American
unaffordable.
jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs right here in America, where they belong.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that was a Trump thing too. The only jobs he's creating are government jobs.
It takes time, but the American people are beginning to feel it. Consumer studies show consumer confidence is soaring. Buy America has been the law of the land since the 1930s.
What?
Past administrations, including my predecessor, including some Democrats as well in the past, failed to buy American. Not anymore. On my watch, federal projects that you fund, like helping build American roads, bridges, and highways, will be made with American products and built by American workers.
Wait, what the fuck?
Creating good
Were we importing
jobs.
Chinese asphalt for the roads? This is the most
Thanks to our Chips and Science Act, the United States is investing more in research and development than ever before. During the
And
pandemic,
Nancy
the shortage
Pelosi's
of
stock
semiconductors,
portfolio
chips,
has shot
that
right up.
drove up the price of everything from cell phones to automobiles. And by the way, we invented those chips right here in America. Well, instead of having to import them, private companies are now
Hey,
investing
Chet, did he
billions of
mention
dollars
Ukraine
to
earlier?
build new chip factories here in America, creating tens of
While I was
thousands of
fucking
jobs.
with my UI.
Many of those jobs paying $100,000 a year and don't require a college degree. In fact, my policies have attracted $650 billion in private sector investment in clean energy, advanced manufacturing, creating tens of thousands of jobs.
I think
here
maybe
in
RBSN
America.
has given up on the Truth Social.
And thanks to our bipartisan infrastructure law, 46,000 new projects have been announced all across your communities. And by the way, I noticed some of you strongly voted against it, or they're cheering on that money coming in. I like it. I'm with you.
Did you see Buttigieg? Did you see Booty Judge there?
If any of you don't want that money in your district, just let me know. Modernize our roads and bridges, ports and airports, public transit systems. Removing poisonous lead pipes so every child can drink clean water without risk of brain damage.
Okay, but you've literally had 3 years to do something about Flint.
Providing affordable high-speed internet for every American, no matter where you live, urban, suburban, or rural communities in red states and blue states. Record investments in tribal communities. Because of my investment in family farms, because I invested in family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows more about this than anybody I know, we're better able to stay in the family for those farms and their children and grandchildren won't have to leave home to make a living. It's transformative. The great comeback story is Belvedere, Illinois.
What the fuck did he just say?
Home to an auto plant for nearly 60 years.
I know what he meant.
Before I came to office, the plant was on its way to shutting down.
We can stay on families so farms don't have to leave.
Feared for their livelihoods. Hope was fading. Then I was elected to office, and we raised the Belvedere repeatedly with auto companies, knowing unions would make all the difference. The UAW worked like hell to keep the plant open and get these jobs back, and together we succeeded. Instead of auto factories shutting down, Auto factories reopening, a new state-of-the-art battery factories being built to power those cars there at the same. Folks, the folks at Belvedere, I say, instead of your town being left behind, your community is moving forward again.
I'll be right back.
Because instead of watching auto jobs in the future go overseas, 4,000 union jobs with higher wages are building the future in Belvedere right here in America. Here tonight is UAW President Shawn Fain, a great friend and a great labor leader. Shawn, where are you? Stand up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Got to give props to the labor mafia.
And Dawn.
It's an election
Dawn
year.
Sims, a third generation worker, UAW worker at Belvedere. Shawn, I was proud to be the first president to stand on the picket line. And today, Dawn has a good job in her hometown, providing stability for her family and pride and dignity as well. Showing once again, Wall Street didn't build America. They're not bad guys. They didn't build it, though.
Oh, wait, we got Trump tweets on the screen.
And unions built the middle class.
Putin only invaded Ukraine because he has no respect for Biden. Would have never happened under the Trump administration, and for 4 years it didn't.
I say to the American people, when America gets knocked down, we get back up. We keep going. That's America.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
That's you, the American
Got Biden
people.
quoting Chumbawamba over
It's
here.
because of you, America's coming back. It's because of you our future is brighter. It's because of you that tonight we can proudly say the state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
Ridiculous. Look at these leftist wackos.
Tonight, I want to talk about the future of possibilities that we can build together. A future where the days of trickle-down economics are over and the wealthy and the biggest corporations no longer get all the tax breaks. And by the way, I understand corporations. I come from a state that has more corporations invested than every one of your states in the state of the United States combined. And I represented it for 36 years. I'm not anti-corporation, but I grew up in a home where trickle-down economics didn't put much on my dad's kitchen table. That's why I determined to turn things around so middle class does well.
Are we going to get
When
a
they do
Scranton
well,
reference?
the poor go way up and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well. And there's more to do to make sure you're feeling the benefits of all we're doing. Americans pay more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world. It's wrong, and I'm ending it.
Trump already ended it. You brought it back, you douchebag.
With the law that I proposed and signed, not one of your Republican buddies voted for it. We finally beat Big Pharma. Instead of paying $400 a month or thereabouts for insulin,
They didn't vote
with
for it because they didn't
diabetes,
need to
it
vote
only
for it
costs
because it was
$10
already
to
done
make.
through executive
They
order.
only get paid $35 a month now and still make a healthy profit. And I want to, but what to do next? I want to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for every American who needs it. Everyone.
Oh, we got another Trump tweet up
For
there.
years.
IVF was just
People have
approved in
talked about
Alabama,
it,
and
but
the
finally
Republicans
we
are
got it
totally in
done.
support.
We gave Medicare the power to
Oh, he
negotiate
just
lower
changed
prices
it.
on prescription drugs.
He looks so angry when he's
Just
talking,
like
which is
the
a trait of
VA is
people who
able
know
to do
they are
for
losing it.
veterans.
The anger and shouting is not helpful
That's
to
not
bringing
just
our
saving
country back
seniors money.
together.
It's saving taxpayers money. We cut the federal deficit by $160 billion
Bernie.
because Medicare will no longer have to pay those exorbitant prices to Big Pharma. This year, Medicare is negotiating lower prices for some of the costliest drugs on the market. to treat everything from heart disease to arthritis. It's now time to go further and give Medicare the power to negotiate lower prices for 500 different drugs over the next decade. They're making a lot of money, guys. And they'll still be extremely profitable. Will not only save lives, it will save taxpayers another $200 billion. Starting next year, the same law caps total prescription drug costs for seniors on Medicare at $2,000 a year, even for expensive cancer drugs that cost $10,000, $12,000, $15,000. I want to cap prescription drug costs at $2,000 a year for everyone. Folks, I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but if you want to get in Air Force One and fly to Toronto, Berlin, Moscow, even Moscow, probably.
Moscow.
And bring your prescription with you, and I promise you I'll get it for you for 40% the cost you're paying now. Same company, same drug, same place. Folks, the Affordable Care Act, the old Obamacare, is still a very big deal.
Uh-oh, that's going to be taking credit for an Obama-era win, I think. Even though it's not a win for us, it's his win, and he's taking credit for it.
Can no longer be denied health insurance because of pre-existing condition. But my predecessor, and many in this chamber, want to take this prescription drug away by repealing Affordable Care Act. I'm not going to let that happen.
Oh, I should have put Creepy Whisper on the fucking
times before it will
bingo.
Stop you again. In fact, I'm not only protecting it, I'm expanding it. We enacted tax credits of $800 per person per year, reduce health care costs for millions of working families. That tax credit expires next year. I want to make that savings permanent.
Wow, Trump is on a roll here.
To state the obvious, women are more than half our population, but research on women's health has always been underfunded. That's why we're launching the first ever White House initiative on women's health research.
Research in women's health is underfunded.
Doing an incredible job as First Lady.
Then maybe the millions of dollars that go to things like the Komen Fund should go to fucking research and not their goddamn salaries.
To pass my plan for $12 billion to transfer women's health research and benefit millions of lives all across America. I know the cost of housing is so important to you. If inflation keeps coming down, mortgage rates will come down as well, and the Fed acknowledges that. But I'm not waiting. I want to provide an annual tax credit that will give Americans $400 a month for the next 2 years as mortgage rates come down to put toward their mortgages when they buy their first home or trade up for a little more space.
You see the True Social up here?
2 years.
Why doesn't he get clean water in East Palestine?
And my administration is also eliminating title insurance on federally backed mortgages. When you refinance your home, you can save $1,000 or more as a consequence. For millions of renters, we're cracking down on big landlords who use
when you're refinancing a home and getting a $300,000 loan, you really need to worry about that $1,000 extra, huh?
We've cut red tape so builders can get federally financing, which is already helping build a record 1.7
This
million
man
new
understands
housing
nothing
units
about real
nationwide.
estate or fucking
Now pass.
home building.
Now pass and build and renovate 2 million affordable homes and bring those rents down.
Bring those rents down. Meanwhile, Airbnb's like, yeah, build more fucking condos and apartments, and we'll invest in all the houses being torn down.
Remain the strongest economy in the world.
Go BlackRock.
We need to have the best education system in the world. And I, like I suspect all of you, want to give a child, every child, a good start by providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. You know, I think I pointed out last year.
Yeah, why not start government schooling an extra 3 years early? Let's just do it.
I think I pointed out last year that children coming from broken homes.
Another
where
2
there's no
years of
books, not
indoctrination
read to,
into
not spoken to very
LGBT crap.
often, start school, kindergarten, or first grade, having heard 1 million fewer words spoken. Well, studies show that children who go to preschool are nearly 50% more likely to finish high school, go on to earn a 2- and 4-year degree, no matter what their background is.
That was close to a racial insensitive comment. Not going to count it yet, though.
I met a year and a half ago with the leaders of the Business Roundtable. They were mad that they were angry. I think, well, they were discussing why I wanted to spend money on education. I pointed out to them as vice president, I met with over 182 of those folks. Don't hold me to the exact number. And I asked them what they need most.
Instead of funding preschools, yeah, they're going to fund Planned Parenthood as well.
You've had the same experience on both sides of the aisle. They say a better educated workforce, right? So I looked at them and I say, I come from Delaware. DuPont used to be the 8th largest corporation in the world. And every new enterprise they bought, they educated the workforce to that enterprise. But none of you do that anymore. Why are you angry with me providing you the opportunity for the best educated workforce in the world? And they all looked at me and said, I think you're right. I want to expand high quality tutoring.
Things that didn't happen for 500, Alex.
Every child learns to read by 3rd grade. I'm also connecting local businesses and high schools so students get hands-on experience and a path to good paying job, whether or not they go to college. And I want to make sure that college is more affordable. Let's continue increasing the Pell Grants to working and middle-class families and increase record investments in HBCUs and minority-serving institutions, including Hispanic institutions. When I was told I couldn't universally just change the way in which we dealt with student loans, I fixed 2 student loan programs that already existed to reduce the burden of student debt for nearly 4 million Americans, including nurses, firefighters, and others in public service. Like Keenan Jones, a public educator from Minnesota, who's here with us tonight. Keenan, where are you? Keenan, thank you. He's educated hundreds of students so they can go to college. Now he's able to help, after debt forgiveness, get his own daughter to college.
Another politically expedient audience member.
And folks, look. Such relief is good for the economy because folks are now able to buy a home, start a business, start a family. While we're at it, I want to give public school teachers a raise.
Not the Pocahontas community represented there.
The first couple of years, we cut the deficit. Now, let me speak to the question of fundamental fairness for all Americans. I've been delivering real results in fiscally responsible ways.
He's not using the term Bidenomics.
We've already cut the federal deficit over $1 trillion.
We cut the federal deficit over $1 trillion.
We cut another $1 trillion in the next decade. It's my goal to cut the federal deficit another $3 trillion by making big corporations and very wealthy finally beginning to pay their fair share.
Yet.
Look, I'm a capitalist. You want to make or can make $1 million or millions of bucks, that's great.
You want to take a make $1 million
in taxes. A fair tax code is how we invest things to make this country great. Healthcare, education, defense, and so much more. But here's the deal. the last administration enacted a $2 trillion tax cut, overwhelmingly benefit the top 1%, the very wealthy, the biggest corporations, and exploded the federal deficit. They added more to the national debt than any presidential term in American history. Check the numbers. Folks at home, does anybody really think the tax code is fair? Do you really think the wealthy and big corporations need another $2 trillion tax break? I sure don't. I'm going to keep fighting like hell to make it fair. Under my plan, nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay an additional penny in federal taxes. Nobody, not one penny. And they haven't yet. In fact, the child tax credit I passed during the pandemic cut taxes for millions of working families and cut child poverty in half. Restore that child tax credit. No child should go hungry in this country.
Yeah.
The way to make
The child tax
code
credit
fair
has gotten insane.
is to make big corporations and the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Remember in 2020, 55 of the biggest companies in America made $40 billion and paid zero in federal income tax. Zero. Not anymore. Thanks to the law I wrote and we signed, big companies have to pay a minimum of 15%. But that's still less than working people pay in federal taxes. It's time to raise corporate minimum tax to at least 21%.
21% corporate tax. And
so every
the corporations just aren't going to pass that on to poor people.
To pay their fair share. I also want to end tax breaks for big pharma, big oil, private jets, massive executive pay when it's only supposed to be $1 million that can be deducted. They can pay them $20 million if they want, but deduct $1 million. End it now. You know, there are 1,000 billionaires in America. You know what the average federal tax is for those billionaires? No. They're making great sacrifices, 8.2%. That's far less than the vast majority of Americans pay. No billionaire should pay a lower federal tax rate than a teacher, a sanitation worker, or a nurse. I propose a minimum tax for billionaires of 25%, just 25%. You know what that would raise? That would raise $500 billion over the next 10 years.
And the rich would just pass it along to the poor people.
Imagine a future with affordable child care. Millions of families can get they need to go to work.
Nothing would be affordable. Nothing would be affordable.
Paid leave, because no one should have to choose between working and taking care of their sick family member. Imagine a future of home care and elder care. And people living with disabilities.
Imagine an endless pool of money just raining down on everyone in America.
Get the pay they deserve. Tonight, let's all agree once again to stand up for seniors. Many of my friends on the other side.
This is.
I will stop you.
Bernie Sanders' wet dream. Hey, what did he just say?
The working people. The working people who built this country pay more into Social Security than millionaires and billionaires do. It's not fair. We have two ways to go. Republicans can cut Social Security and give more tax breaks to the wealthy. That's the proposal. Oh, no. You guys don't want another $2 trillion tax cut? I kind of thought that's what your plan was. Well, that's good to hear. You're not going to cut another $2 trillion for the super wealthy. That's good to hear. I'll protect and strengthen Social Security and make the wealthy pay their fair share. Look.
Yes.
Too many corporations raise prices to pad their profits, charging more and more for less and less. That's why we're cracking down on corporations that engage in price gouging and deceptive pricing, from food to healthcare to housing. In fact, the snack companies think you won't notice. if they change the size of the bag and put a hell of a lot fewer, same size bag,
Shrinkflation.
put fewer chips in it.
Holy
No, I'm not
shit.
joking.
Holy
It's called
shit.
shrinkflation. Pass Bobby Casey's bill and stop this. I really mean
Biden
it.
is actually talking about shrinkflation. He's low-key admitting it's happening under his presidency as well.
You probably all saw that commercial on Snickers bars. You get charged the same amount, and you got about, I don't know, 10% fewer Snickers in it. Look, I'm also getting rid of junk fees.
Oh shit.
Those hidden fees at the end of your bill that are there without your knowledge. My administration announced we're cutting credit card late fees from $32 to $8.
Okay, do it.
Banks and credit card companies.
This is like the third time he's talked about these junk fees things, and then it just goes away for months, and nothing's ever done.
The collection. And that's more a hell of a lot, like $8 and 30 some dollars.
You think the credit card companies
They
are
don't
really
like
going to
it.
slash their fees?
Credit card companies don't like it. But I'm saving American families $20 billion a year with all the junk fees I'm eliminating.
How are you going to do it?
Folks at home, that's why the banks are so mad. It's $20 billion in profit. I'm not stopping there. My administration
But your buddy gave him trillions of bailout money a decade
utilities,
ago.
online ticket sellers
15
tell you
years
the
ago.
total price up front, so there are no surprises. It matters. It matters. And so does this. In November, my team began serious negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen.
Boo, no, that's a fucking
Oh,
lie.
you don't
There it
think
is.
so?
Here we go.
Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? That conservatives got together and said it was a good bill? I'll be darned. That's amazing. That bipartisan bill would hire 1,500 more security agents and officers, 100 more immigration judges, help tackle the backload of 2 million cases, 4,300 more asylum officers, and new policies so they can
Here we
resolve
go,
cases
blaming
in
Republicans
6
for the
months
border,
instead
adding
of
that
6
to the
years
board.
now. What are you against? 100 more high-tech drug detection machines to significantly increase the ability to screen and stop vehicles smuggling fentanyl into America.
There's fentanyl.
That's killing thousands
Man,
of children.
we're Israel away from a double
This bill
bingo.
would save lives and bring order to the border. It will also give me and any new president new emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming. The Border Patrol Union has endorsed this bill. The Federal Chamber of Commerce is, yeah. You're saying low. Look at the facts. I know.
Somehow I missed my
I know you
insurrection.
know how to
word.
read. I believe that given the opportunity for a majority in the House and Senate would endorse the bill as well, a majority right now. But unfortunately, politics has derailed this bill so far. I'm told my predecessor called members of Congress in the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me
Because
and a political loser
it
for
didn't
him.
secure the border.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Marjorie Taylor Greene is screaming Laken Riley's name.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many
shit.
of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look,
There's Bo.
if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth it taking the chance of the $8,000. But But if it's only 6 months, 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way, knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly. Folks, I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now.
All right, Jim. I thought I had mentioned Bo on there, but I put mention Hunter.
And if my predecessor is watching,
Oh, no, I did have mention
instead
Bo.
of paying politics and pressuring members of Congress to
my
block
insurrection
the bill,
one
join
moved
me,
up. So, yeah, there we go.
telling the Congress
We're
to
good.
pass it. We can do it together. But that's what he apparently, here's what he will not do. I will not demonize immigrants saying they are poison in the blood of our country. I will not separate families.
I mean, you already are separating
I will
families.
not ban people because of their faith. Unlike my predecessor on my first day in office, I introduced a comprehensive bill to fix our immigration system. Take a look at it. It has all these and more. Secure the border. Provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, and so much more. But unlike my predecessor, I know who we are as Americans. We're the only nation in the world with a heart and soul that draws from old and new. Home to Native Americans, whose ancestors have been here for thousands of years. Home to people of from every place on earth. They came freely. Some came in chains. Some came when famine struck, like my ancestral family in Ireland. Some to flee persecution, to chase dreams that are impossible anywhere but here in America. That's America. And we all come from somewhere.
Yeah, and you want to change it to something else. You want to destroy what built it. Of course, he mentioned Native Americans.
Look, folks.
So they got to show,
a simple choice.
the Senate's token Native American.
About fixing the border, or we can fix it. I'm ready to fix it. Send me the border bill now.
You don't need a bill. You don't need a bill. Just do it. Send the troops down there. Send the funding that you already got to build the wall. Just do it.
History happened 59 years ago today in Selma, Alabama. Hundreds of foot soldiers for justice marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, named after the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, to claim their fundamental right to vote. They were beaten, they were bloody, and left for dead. Our late friend and former colleague, John Lewis, was on that march. We miss him. But joining us tonight are other marchers, both in the gallery and on the floor, including Betty Mae Fikes, known as the voice of Selma, the daughter of gospel singers and preachers. She sang songs of prayer and protest on that bloody Sunday to help shake the nation's conscience. 5 months later, the Voting Rights Act passed and was signed into law. Thank you.
Yeah, you see the Trump tweet up here. After 3 years of Bidenomics, the 30-year mortgage rate has hit a 23-year high. Yeah. Of course it's going to bring down inflation when nobody can afford a loan. And he's worried about $1,000 filing fee on people's mortgages.
59 years later, there are forces taking us back in time. Voter suppression, election subversion, unlimited dark money, extreme gerrymandering. John Lewis is a great friend to many of us here. But if you truly want to honor him and all the heroes who marched with him, then it's time to do more than talk. Pass the Freedom to Vote Act.
What the fuck is the Freedom to Vote Act? What the fuck is the Freedom to... Is this a voter ID thing? I'm going to call that racial insensitivity.
And stop denying another core value of America, our diversity across American life.
Yep, there we go.
Banning books, it's wrong. Instead of erasing history, let's make history. I want to protect fundamental rights. Pass the Equality Act. And my message to transgender Americans is, I have your back. Pass the PRO Act for workers' rights. Raise the federal minimum wage, because every worker has a right to a decent living more than $7 an hour. We're also making history by confronting the climate crisis, not denying it.
Damn.
I don't think any of you think there's no longer a climate crisis. At
Come
least I
on.
hope you don't. I'm taking the most significant action ever on climate in the history of the world.
You are the climate crisis, Joe.
I'm cutting
You
our
are the
emissions
climate
in
crisis.
half by 2030, creating tens of thousands of clean energy jobs, like the IBW work is building and installing 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations.
What's going to power the charging
Conserving.
stations, Joe?
30% of Americans
Are they
land and
fucking
water
solar?
by 2030. And taking action on environmental justice, fence line communities smothered by the legacy of pollution. And pattern after the Peace Corps and AmeriCorps, I launched the Climate Corps to put 20,000 young people to work in the forefront of our clean energy
Jesus.
future. I'll triple that number in a decade. To state the obvious, all Americans deserve the freedom to be safe. And America is safer today than when I took office. Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue
What was he
Plan,
saying
which
about
every
the
American
Marines?
voted against, I
What?
might add, we made the largest investment in public safety ever.
Some guy was yelling something
year,
about the
murder rate
Marines.
saw the sharpest decrease in history. Violent crime fell to one of its lowest levels in more than 50 years. But we have more to do. We have to help cities invest in more community police officers, more mental health workers, more community violence
Meanwhile, half
preventers.
of your base wants to
Give communities
defund the
tool
police.
To crack down on gun crime, retail crime, and carjacking. Keep
Do
government
it.
trustees have been doing
Do
by
it.
taking
Crack
executive
down on
action
retail
on
crime.
police reform.
Your friends in San
And calling for it
Francisco
to be
want to
the law
stop
of the land.
prosecuting retail crime.
Directing my cabinet to review the federal classification of marijuana and expunging thousands of convictions for the mere possession, because no one should be jailed for simply using or have it on their record.
Wow. This is an amazing. This is amazing.
Take on crimes of domestic violence. I'm ramping up the federal enforcement of the Violence Against Women Act that I proudly wrote when I was a senator. So we can finally end the scourge against women in America.
What scourge against women? What the fuck are you even talking about?
There are other kinds of violence I want to stop. With us tonight is Jasmine, whose 9-year-old sister Jackie was murdered.
Violence is up.
21 classmates and teachers in an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Very soon
Here we
after that
go.
happened, Jill and I went to Uvalde for a couple of days. We spent hours and hours with
Gun
each of the
grabbing
families.
coming.
We heard their message. So everyone in this room, in this chamber, could hear the same message. The constant refrain, and I was there for hours meeting with every family. They said, do something. Do something.
You see
Well, I
the
did
Trump
do
tweet up
something by
here?
establishing the first
Freedom
ever
to
Office
cheat
of Gun
in Voting
Violence
Act,
Prevention
which
in
is
the
really
White
what he
House,
wants.
that the Vice President is leading the charge. Thank you for doing this. Meanwhile, my predecessor told the NRA he's proud he did nothing on guns when he was president.
But he did the bump stock thing. That's a fucking lie.
After another shooting in Iowa recently, he said, when asked what to do about it, he said, just get over it. There's his quote, just get over it. I say, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm proud we beat the NRA when I signed the most significant gun safety law in nearly 30 years because of this Congress. We now must beat the NRA again. I'm demanding a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Pass universal background checks.
Well, there goes the Trump derangement vote.
None of this. I taught the Second Amendment for 12 years. None of this violates the Second Amendment or vilifies responsible gun owners. You know, as we manage challenges at home, we're also managing crises abroad, including in the Middle East. I know the last 5 months have been gut-wrenching for so many people, for the Israeli people, for the Palestinian people, and so many here in America. This crisis began on October 7th with a massacre by a terrorist group called Hamas, as you all know. 1,200 innocent people, women and girls, men and boys, slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust, and 250 hostages taken. Here in this chamber tonight are families whose loved ones are still being held by Hamas. I pledge to all the families that we will not rest until we bring every one of your loved ones home. We also
You might have a double bingo coming up.
we will also work around the clock to bring home Evan and Paul, Americans being unjustly detained by the Russians and others around the world. Israel has the right
There
to
it
go
is.
after Hamas.
Bingo. Double
Hamas
bingo.
ended this conflict by releasing hostages, laying down arms, could end it by releasing the hostages, laying down arms, and surrendering those responsible for October 7th. But Israel has Israel has a added burden because Hamas hides and operates among the civilian population like cowards under hospitals, daycare centers, and all the like. Israel also has a fundamental responsibility, though, to protect innocent civilians in Gaza.
He's playing middle of the fence.
This war has taken a greater
He's
toll
playing
on
both
civilians
sides
than
of the
all
fence.
previous wars in Gaza combined. More than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed, most of whom are not Hamas. Thousands and thousands of innocents, women and children, girls and boys, also orphaned. Nearly 2 million more Palestinians under bombardment or displacement. Homes destroyed, neighborhoods in rubble, cities in ruin. Families without food, water, medicine. It's heartbreaking. I've been working nonstop to establish an immediate ceasefire that would last for 6 weeks to get all the prisoners released, all the hostages released, to get the hostages home and ease the intolerable and humanitarian crisis and build toward an enduring, something more enduring. The United States has been leading international efforts to get more humanitarian assistance to Gaza. Tonight, I'm directing the U.S. military to lead an emergency mission to establish a temporary pier in the Mediterranean.
The squad holding up ceasefire now.
Large shipments carrying food, water, medicine, and temporary shelters. No U.S. boots will be on the ground.
How about we get a ceasefire in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, there, Rashida Tlaib?
Getting into Gaza every day.
Do we have a ceasefire in Minneapolis first, Rashida Tlaib?
Israel must do its part. Israel must allow more aid into Gaza to ensure humanitarian workers aren't caught in the crossfire. They're announcing they're going to have a crossing in northern Gaza. To the leadership of Israel, I say this. Humanitarian assistance cannot be a
Sanglin, he talked about shrinkflation of the Snickers bars.
Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority.
If the Snickers bars are shrinking, you get less in a package.
The only real solution to the situation is a two-state solution over time.
Wow.
And I say this.
Still pushing the two-state
As a lifelong
solution.
supporter of Israel, my entire career, no one has a stronger record with Israel than I do. I challenge any of you here. I'm the only American president to visit Israel in wartime. But there is no other path that guarantees Israel's security and democracy. There is no other path that guarantees that Palestinians can live in peace with peace and dignity. There's no other path that guarantees peace between Israel and all of its neighbors, including Saudi Arabia, with whom I'm talking. Creating stability in the Middle East also means containing the threat posed by Iran. That's why I built a coalition of more than a dozen countries to defend international shipping and freedom of navigation in the Red Sea. I've ordered strikes to degrade the Houthi capability and defend U.S. forces in the region. As Commander-in-Chief, I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and our military personnel.
That's it. Get those pro-war dollars.
I've heard many of my Republican and Democratic friends say that China is on the rise and America's falling behind. They've got it backwards. I've been saying it for over 4 years, even when I wasn't president. America's rising. We have the best economy in the world. And since I've come to office, our GDP is up, our trade deficit with China is down to the lowest point in over a decade. And we're standing up against China's unfair economic practices. We're standing up for peace and stability across the Taiwan Straits. I've revitalized our partnership and alliance in the Pacific. India, Australia, Japan, South Korea, Pacific Islands. I've made sure that the most advanced American technologies can't be used in China, not allowing to trade them there. Frankly, for all this tough talk on China, it never occurred to my predecessor to do any of that.
Bullshit.
I want competition with China, not conflict.
He instituted
We're in a
tariffs.
stronger position to win the conflict of the 21st century against
Trump
China
put tariffs
than anyone
into
else,
Democrats
or
said,
that
oh, it's going to
matter,
make
than
everything
any time
cost
as
more.
well. Here at home, I've signed over 400 bipartisan bills. There's more to pass my unity agenda. Strengthen penalties on fentanyl trafficking. You don't want to do that, huh? Pass bipartisan privacy legislation to protect our children online. Harness the promise of AI to protect us from peril. Ban AI voice impersonations and more. And keep our children sacred obligation to train and equip those we send into harm's way and care for them and their families when they come home and when they don't. That's why, with strong support and help of Dennis and the VA, I signed the PACT Act, one of the most significant laws ever, helping millions of veterans exposed to toxins who now are battling more than 100 different cancers.
Why were they exposed to toxins,
Many of them
Joe?
don't come home, but we owe them and their families support. We owe it to ourselves to keep supporting our new health research agency called ARPA-H, and remind us that we can do big things like end cancer as we know it, and we will. Let me close with this. Yay. I know you don't want to hear any more, Lindsay, but I got to say a few more things. I know it may not look like it, but I've been around a while. When you get to be my age, certain things become clearer than ever. I know the American story. Again and again, I've seen the contest between competing forces in the battle for the soul of our nation. Between those who want to pull America back to the past and those who want to move America into the future. My lifetime has taught me to embrace freedom and democracy, a future based on core values that have defined America: honesty, decency, dignity, equality, to respect everyone, to give everyone a fair shot, to give hate no safe harbor. Now, other people my age see it differently. The American story of resentment, revenge, and retribution. That's not me. I was born in mid-World War II when America stood for the freedom of the world. I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, among working-class people who built this country. I watched in horror as two of my heroes, like many of you did, Dr. King and Bobby Kennedy, were assassinated. And their legacies inspired me to pursue a career in service.
Oh, he
I left the
mentioned
law firm
Bobby
and became
Kennedy.
a public defender
Wow.
because my city of Wilmington was the only city in America occupied by the National Guard after Dr. King was assassinated because of the riots. And I became a county councilman almost by accident. I got elected to the United States Senate when I had no intention of running at age 29. Then vice president of our first black president. Now president to the first women vice president.
Pander, pander, pander. Pander, pander. It's all about identity, identity, identity.
In my career, I've been told I was too young. By the way, they didn't let me on the Senate elevators for votes sometimes.
Oh,
Not a
shit.
joke.
Is this going to be his fitness here?
I've been told I'm too old. Whether young or old, I've always been known.
Yep.
I've always known what endures. I've known our North Star. The very idea of America is that we're all created equal. It deserves to be treated equally throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I won't walk away from it now. I'm optimistic. I really am. I'm optimistic, Nancy. My fellow Americans, the issue facing our nation isn't how old we are. It's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas that only take us back. You lead America, the land of possibilities. You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done. Tonight you've heard mine. I see a future where defending democracy, you don't diminish it. I see a future where we restore the right to choose and protect our freedoms, not take them away. I see a future where the middle class finally has a fair shot and the wealthy have to pay their fair share in taxes. I see a future where we save the planet from the
I'm waiting for the part where he says Trump's not going to do anything.
From gun violence. Above all, I see a future for all Americans. I see a country for all Americans. And I will always be president for all Americans because I believe in America. I believe in you, the American people.
Oh, you got to love
You're
Donald
the reason
Trump.
we've never been more optimistic about our future than I am now.
Look at this.
So let's build the future together. Let's remember who we are. We are the United States of America. And there is nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. So I'm actually shocked at some of the things we didn't get. He didn't outright say white supremacy. He alluded to it. The same with LGBTQ+. He kept talking about rights. And he would use weasel words, but you know that's what he's talking about, right? He'd talk about hate and rights and progress. But he never outright said the phrase LGBTQ. I put ice cream in there. I figured it'd be a coin toss. I didn't think he'd really mention ice cream. But yeah, not the white supremacy. He didn't mention Hunter Biden. So far, he hasn't frozen or wandered. He's kind of wandering now a little bit, but I'm not going to count this because he's hyper-focused on his buddies here. let me go ahead and bring the volume down a little bit, and I'll talk to you folks in the chat while he's walking out. Let me actually bring off the RBSN feed here.
All right, this is Andrew Kraft here, and you have been listening as well to the State of the Union. President Biden there after almost an hour and a half.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just mute that the rest of the way because we don't need to hear Fox News. If Fox brings on some Republican Congress people or senators to give any comments on it, I'll go ahead and bring that up. No intention to run, doesn't mess with plagiarizing speeches. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Is I think he's killing the rest of his political capital here. Liz Butt going woo woo. Okay, yeah. Woo 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 woo. Oh, sorry. Anyway, sorry. That was inappropriate of me. I apologize. So yeah. I feel like the talking out of both sides of his mouth with Israel and Palestine, I think is going to be political suicide. I think letting Marjorie Taylor Greene bait him into talking about the real problems of immigration and the violence occurring is going to hurt him. Democrats don't want to believe that these things are really happening. And when the president of the United States acknowledges them in the State of the Union and talks about fentanyl coming across the border and acts like, oh, I'm your savior. Well, no, you've had 3 years to do something about it. You've had 3 years to take care of this. And instead, you schmooze with bankers. You schmooze, with your son who's schmoozing with China, who's schmoozing with Ukraine. I don't believe that you want to solve these problems. Nobody believes you want to solve these problems. And the more you talk about them, the more it's obvious that you don't. Now, granted, you'll have Trump derangement leftists, the CNN types, the MSNBC types, the even the Lincoln Project types that will try to give you credit for, quote, trying when Donald Trump failed, right? We got a couple funny Donald Trump quotes here. So we got Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He weaponized government against his opponent and didn't talk about that. Never happened before. Then we got this one. I like this. I like this one here. Check this out. What happened to Nancy? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What happened to Nancy? Got Cookie saying, shaking her head at these people. I'm shaking my head at that whole thing. I can't believe what I just watched. I can't believe Marjorie Taylor Greene was able to bait him into talking about the violence from illegal immigrants. And he used the word illegal. He fucking used the word illegal. And then somehow tried to spin it to gun violence and school shootings. Because standing on the graves of victims of tragedy is the only way politicians can get things done. And yeah, you can make the argument that that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene was doing. But sometimes it needs to be done. And definitely the gun grabbers will say that. But there's got to be a better way forward than letting violent thugs do what they're going to do to this country. Wow. Okay, so yeah, it says we're still live on X. So we had almost a triple bingo. We didn't have the inappropriate comments about children. I thought he was going to lie about Afghanistan, but he kind of was staying to this year's stuff with the talking about the Houthis instead. But yeah, he talked about Israel. He took credit for Obamacare. He mispronounced, he mislabeled a couple countries. He mispronounced a lot of things. He took credit for Trump's trade policies. We had several politically expedient audience members. Cookie says, "Put Black American ghetto women in charge of the borders. They hate illegals and most immigration." Yeah, they're going to tell them start speaking English. I put insensitive racial remark because he was essentially talking about voting rights in such a way, like black people don't have the right to vote or something. And then I gave him credit for mentioning mental fitness because he claimed that people claim I'm too old. Well, yeah, there you go. That's why. And then when he's going on his gun grabber tirade, talking about people losing their children, he mentioned, well, I've lost children of my own, so I put mentions Bo on there. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 out of 25. That's not bad. I mean, he's still on the screen. If it looks like he freezes or falls, we could still get one more. We can go for 16. I'm really shocked he didn't say LGBTQ plus or whatever, and I'm a little shocked he didn't accuse Republicans of going after Hunter. Like those are the two I'm shocked about. I'm also a little shocked that he didn't mention Trump's legal issues. Uh, in retrospect, Bidenomics, like that whole speech was about Bidenomics, but he never used the phrase because he knows that the phrase became a joke. The phrase became an insult. He knows it became political suicide. Cookie says, "Are we waiting for a Republican response?" I don't think they're going to have one. I think for the most part, uh, Trump's tweets were going to be the response. I'm not sure. I'm going to kind of hang out and watch for a little bit until they stop covering him walking down him walking around. Let me do something though. Let me bring him off the screen for just a few minutes. Let me kill the Fox feed and let me see if there's anything going on Rumble with Trump or with Don Jr. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. Why don't we do this? Why don't we watch this? This is on Trump's Rumble channel here. Let's do this. This is on Trump's Rumble channel. This was wait, nope, not that. This video was a pre-buttal. It was a pre-buttal.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record. Joe Biden is on the run from his record and lying.
So this was Trump, kind of preparing Americans for what he thinks they were going to hear from the State of the Union. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record and lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party have created. All the while, they continue the very policies that are causing this horror show to go. We cannot take it any longer as a country. Joe Biden's sad excuse for a State of the Union address aside, here are the facts. When I left office, we gave Joe Biden the most secure border in U.S. history. We gave him remain in Mexico, very tough to get, but I got it. Safe third agreements, the asylum ban, Title 42, 571 miles of border wall, rapid deportations, and much more. We had the safest border in the history.
And he did it without demanding Congress do it.
In, Crooked Joe and his radical left lunatics deliberately dismantled each and every.
But Biden gets up there and says, "Well, I need the Republicans to pass my bill."
Gave us this best border, according to Tom Homan, according to Brandon Judd, the top people. They said it was the single best border we've ever had in recorded history. What's happened now is a horror show. The country, our country, is being laughed at all over the world. Over the past 3 years, Biden has actively aided and abetted the importation of millions and millions of illegal alien migrants and resettled them into your communities. At any time during the past 3 years, crooked Joe Biden, and he is crooked as you can be and the most incompetent president we've ever had.
I love it.
Could have called off the invasion, but to this day, he is keeping the hordes of illegal migrants and illegal aliens pouring into the country. By the time his term is up, we can have close to 20 million people in our country. And we have no idea from where they come. We have no idea who they are. They have no identification. Many come from mental institutions. Many come from prisons. They're terrorists. We have a calamity the likes of which we've never seen before. The very first bill Joe Biden sent to Congress was a plan to turn illegal aliens into voting citizens. That's just what we need. No matter what Crooked Joe says, his actions prove his priority is to import a colossal new illegal alien population and let them all stay. My priority is securing our border and sending Crooked Joe's illegals back home. Likewise, the sight of a feeble Joe Biden talking about shrinkflation, the term he uses,
there we
is
go.
One of the most ridiculous things this country has ever seen. Shrinkflation is just another way of saying inflation. It means that you're losing a lot of money because these people don't know what they're doing. It was all caused by crooked Joe Biden and the people that surround him. And they are radical left, Marxists and fascists and communists and socialists. We have people running our country, the likes of which we have never seen before. He and the communists and his party looted trillions of dollars from you and spent it on illegal aliens and the Green New Scam, triggering the highest inflation in many, many decades. If your packages are getting smaller, that's the reason why, under my leadership, there was no inflation.
Bingo, bango.
We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. It's time to tell crooked Joe Biden, you're fired.
Okay, so that's what we got. We had Donald Trump giving the pre-rebuttal beforehand. Let's see here. Do we have anything? Nope. We have last year's rebuttal by Trump. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a Republican response. Oh, wait, nope. Apparently, Senator Katie Britt of Alabama is going to deliver a Republican response here in a moment. So, yeah, I'm going to bring Fox's feed back up, apparently. Let's go back to this. Again, maybe he'll fall down and we'll get another thing. Now, again, I don't wish that upon anybody, but maybe we'll get another little bingo chip here. Got more comments. Tucker is live as well. That didn't last long. Yeah, the pre-rebuttal, yeah, it was just a couple minutes, as kind of a preview of what to expect. See if there's anything else juicy on the Donald Trump Truth Social Twitter account. I don't understand what he's saying here. So let me bring this up. Maybe the chat can help me decipher what Donald Trump is saying in this. Oh, and it gets cut off too. It's cut off by StreamYard. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, he just says every other leader. That's the end of it. So he said, I bowed down to the Russian leader. He gave them everything, including Ukraine. I took away Nord Stream 2. He gave it to them. I don't know what he means about Nord Stream 2 was blown the fuck up. He was a puppet for Putin and Xi and virtually every other leader. Okay. I don't understand what he was saying about Nord Stream though. That's weird. That's kind of a weird flex there. It was blown up during the Biden administration. Oh shit. And Trump's still going. Trump's still going. Hang on, let me bring this up. Oops, I hit bookmark instead of paste. There we go. He didn't stand up to Putin. He gave Putin Ukraine. Man, Trump is on fire here. Okay, I'm going to have to post this one in 2 parts. Because this one's going to be too long for StreamYard here. This one's going to be too long for StreamYard. Okay, so there's the first half. Whether the fake news media likes admitting it or not, there was tremendous misrepresentation and lies in that speech, but the people of our country get it. And they know that November 5th will be the most important day in our nation's history. All right. Yeah, that's why I said I think this was a dangerous speech for Biden, because he had to be honest about some things. And it was almost refreshing to hear Biden use the word illegal. It was almost refreshing to hear Biden talk about the drug crisis. Then he spun it into, well, we're going to legalize marijuana nationwide and shit like this, We're being lied to, folks. We're being lied to by our government. Nah, I don't know about the fact checking on this one. Donald Trump made Iran broke and then Biden made them rich. I don't know if the fact checking will hold up on that one. Oh, maybe it was the Nord Stream one. I don't know. Sanglet. And then Shut Up I Can Cook says, more doped up voters. Yeah. Everyone smoke weed. Oh, wait, shit, there's Kennedy. Oh, fuck, here's the Republican response. Should I restart it? Should I go back? There we go. Oh shit. Oh shit. Being proud of being a mom? A woman in current year? A birthing person in current year is proud to be a mom. All right. Oh shit, damn it. Wait, you should be able to hear it. It's in the same damn window. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Damn it. You're right. You're right. I know what I did wrong. Here we go. I wasn't sharing it in StreamYard, so the audio wasn't sharing. Okay. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this one more time.
My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran for the Senate. I'm worried.
Here, let me go back up.
Heroes are Republican response.
State of Alabama
Here
and
we
the
go.
United States Senate. However,
Audio
that's
working
not
now?
the job that matters most. I am a proud wife and mom of 2 school-aged kids. My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran for the Senate. I'm worried about their future and the future of children in every corner of our nation. And that's why I invited you into our home tonight. Like so many families across America, my husband Wesley and I just watched President Biden's State of the Union address from our living room. And what we saw was the performance of a permanent politician who has actually been in office for longer than I've been alive. One thing was quite clear, though. President Biden just doesn't get it. He's out of touch. Under his administration, families are worse off.
The Republican
Our
Party
communities
was
are less
fucking
safe,
smart to get
and
this
our
woman on it.
country is less secure. I just wish he understood what real families are facing around kitchen tables just like this one. You know, this is where our family has tough conversations. It's where we make hard decisions. It's where we share the good, the bad, and the ugly of our days. It's where we laugh together. And it's where we hold each other's hands and pray for God's guidance. And many nights, to be honest, it's where Wesley and I worry. I know we're
Yes,
not alone.
Cookie, she's a millennial.
And so tonight, the American family needs to have a tough conversation because the truth is,
Now
we're
Sanglin's
all
saying there's no
worried
sound.
about
What
the
the hell?
future of our nation. The country we know and love seems to be slipping away, and it feels like the next generation will have fewer opportunities and less freedoms than we did. I worry my
There's
own
gotta be
children
sound
may
now.
not even get a shot
said
at
it was
living their American dreams. My American dream allowed me, the daughter of 2 small business owners from rural Enterprise, Alabama, to be elected to the United States Senate at the age of 40. Growing up, sweeping the floor at my dad's hardware store and cleaning the bathroom at my mom's dance studio, I never could have imagined what my story would entail. To think about what the American dream can do across
Shout out to young
just
girls in
one
the Midwest.
generation, in just one lifetime. It's truly breathtaking. But
What?
right now, the American dream has turned into a nightmare.
Oh,
for
did you see the
so
smile
many
wipe off her
families.
face?
The true, unvarnished state of our union begins and ends with
She got
this.
serious.
Our
She
families
put on the mom
are
face.
hurting. Our country can do better. And you don't have to look any further than the crisis at our southern border to see it. President Biden inherited the most secure border of all time. But minutes after taking office, he suspended all deportations, he halted construction of the border wall, and he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions. We know that President Biden didn't just create this border crisis, he invited it with 94 executive actions in his first 100 days. When I took office, I took a different approach. I traveled to the Del Rio sector of Texas. That's where I spoke to a woman who shared her story with me. She had been sex trafficked by the cartels starting at the age of 12. She told me not just that she was raped every day, but how many times a day she was raped. The cartels put her on a mattress in a shoebox of a room, and they sent men through that door over and over again for hours and hours on end.
Cheers.
We wouldn't be okay with this happening in a third world country. This is the United States of America, and it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it. President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable. From fentanyl poisonings to horrific murders, there are empty chairs tonight at kitchen tables just like this one because of President Biden's senseless border policies. Just think about Lincoln Riley. In my neighboring state of Georgia, this beautiful 22-year-old nursing student went out on a jog one morning, but she never got the opportunity to return home. She was brutally murdered by one of the millions of illegal border crossers President Biden chose to release into our homeland. Y'all, as a mom, I can't quit thinking about this. I mean, this could have been my daughter. This could have been yours. And tonight, President Biden finally said her name. But he refused to take responsibility for his own actions. Mr. President, enough is enough. Innocent Americans are dying, and you only have yourself to blame.
This is theatrical as
Fulfill your
fuck.
oath of office. Reverse your policies. End
I don't
this
think she's being
crisis
disingenuous,
and
but
stop
she's
the suffering.
overemphasizing. Bad.
Sadly, we know that President Biden's failures don't stop there. His reckless spending dug our economy into a hole and sent the cost of living through the roof.
There we go. Now we got the
We
economy.
have the worst inflation in 40 years and the highest credit card debt in our nation's history. Let that sink in. Hardworking families are struggling to make ends meet.
Biden wants us to save
today.
$15
And with
fees and
soaring
$1,000
mortgage
on our
rates
fucking
and
$300,000
sky-high
houses.
childcare cost. They're also struggling to how to plan for tomorrow. The American people are scraping by while President Biden proudly proclaims that Bidenomics is working. Goodness, y'all, bless his heart. We know better. I'll never forget stopping at a gas station in Chilton County one evening. The gentleman working the counter told me that after retiring, he had to pick up a job in his 70s so that he didn't have to choose between going hungry or going without his medication. He said, I did everything right. I did everything I was told to do. I worked hard, I saved, I was responsible. He's not alone. I hear similar concerns from fellow parents, whether I am walking with my friends or whether I'm at my kids' games. But let's be honest, it's been a minute since Joe Biden pumped gas, ran a carpool, or even pushed a grocery cart. Meanwhile, the rest of us see our dollar and we know it doesn't go as far. We see it every day.
I've been watching it since
despite
2008.
What he tells
Since
you,
2007, really.
our communities are not safer. For years, the left has coddled criminals and defunded the police, all while letting repeat offenders walk free. The result is tragic, but foreseeable. From our small towns to America's most iconic city streets, life is getting more and more dangerous. And unfortunately, President Biden's weakness isn't just hurting families here at home. He is making us a punchline on the world stage. Look, where I'm from, your word is your bond. But for 3 years, the president
Was
has
that a little
demonstrated
slight
that
at the whole
America's word doesn't
French
mean what
TV
it
making
used
fun
to.
of Biden?
From abandoning our allies in his disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan to desperately pushing another dangerous deal with Iran. President Biden has failed. We've become a nation in retreat, and the enemies of freedom, they see an opportunity.
Now she's really got mom face.
Putin's brutal aggression in Europe has put our allies on the brink. Iran's terrorist proxies have slaughtered Israeli, Jews, and American citizens. They've targeted commercial shipping, and they've attacked our troops nearly 200 times since October, killing 3 U.S. soldiers and 2 Navy SEALs. Meanwhile, the Chinese Communist Party is undercutting America's workers. China is buying up our farmland, spying on our military installations, and spreading propaganda through the likes of TikTok.
Shout out to
You see,
Chinese balloons.
The CCP knows that if it conquers the minds of our next generation, it conquers America. And what does President Biden do? Well, he bans TikTok for government employees, but creates an account for his own campaign. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Look, we all recall when presidents faced national security threats with strength.
Shout out to Nikki Haley's
and
daughter,
resolve.
probably watching Biden's
That
TikTok.
seems like ancient history. Right now, our commander-in-chief is not in command. The free world deserves better than a dithering and diminished leader. America deserves leaders who recognize that secure borders, stable prices, safe streets, and a strong defense are actually the cornerstones of a great nation. Just ask yourself, are you better off now than you were 3 years ago? There's no doubt we're at a crossroads, and it doesn't have to be this way. We all feel it. But here's the good news. We, the people, are still in the driver's seat. We get to decide whether our future will grow brighter or whether we'll settle for an America in decline. Well, I know which choice our children deserve. And I know the choice
Look
the
at her. She
Republican
went
Party
from
is
smiling
fighting
to
for.
damn near crying
We
to
are
anger.
the party of
Now back to smiling.
hard-working parents and families. And we want to give you and your children the opportunities to thrive.
God,
And
this is She's
We
such a
want
TV
families to
created.
grow. It's why we strongly support continued nationwide access
And I'm not saying
to
that
in
like it's a
vitro
bad thing.
fertilization. We want to help loving moms and dads bring precious life into this world. Wesley and I believe there is no greater blessing in life than our children. And that's why tonight I want to make a direct appeal to the parents out there, and in particular to my fellow moms, many of whom I know will be up tossing and turning at 2 a.m., wondering how you're going to be in 3 places at once and
Hashtag
then
women for
somehow
Trump.
still get dinner on the table. First of all, we see you, we hear you, and we stand with you. I know you're frustrated. I know you're probably disgusted by most of what you see going on in Washington, and I'll be really honest with you, you're not wrong for feeling that way. Look, I get it. The task in front of us isn't an easy one, but I can promise you one thing. It is worth it. So I am asking you, for the sake of your kids and your grandkids, get into the arena. Every generation has been called to do hard things. American greatness rests in the fact that we always answer that call. It's who we are. Never forget, we are steeped in the blood
Oh my
of
God, now
patriots
she's just
who
platitude after
overthrew
platitude
the
after
most
platitude.
powerful empire in the world.
Where's the meat?
We walk in the footsteps of pioneers who tamed the wild.
God,
We now carry forward the same flame of freedom as
I'm
the
expecting
liberators of
Live, Laugh,
oppressed
Love
Europe.
to come next.
We continue to draw courage from those who bent the moral arc of the universe.
And I looked
And
down
when
and there
we
was one
gaze
set of
upon the
footprints in the
heavens,
sand.
never forget that our DNA contains the same ingenuity that put man on the moon. America has been
Wait.
tested before.
You got
And
Buzz Aldrin's
every
DNA in you?
single time we've emerged
cheating on your husband with Buzz
unbowed
Aldrin?
and unbroken. Our history has been written with the grit of men and women who got knocked down. But we know their stories because they did not
Shout
stay
out
down.
to Chumbawamba again.
We are here
I get
because
knocked down,
they
but I get up
stood
again.
back up. So now it's our turn, our moment to stand up and prove ourselves worthy of protecting the American dream. Together, we can reawaken
crazy.
the heroic spirit of a great nation.
Platitude after platitude.
Because America, we don't just have a rendezvous with destiny. We take destiny's hand and we lead it.
I'm not
Our
touching
future
Destiny's
starts
hands.
around kitchen
He's been doing
tables
weird shit with his
just
ex-wife,
like
you know, like
this.
and
With
then
moms and
probably
dads
since his ex-wife
just
left him, he's
like
probably been
you.
doing even weirder stuff. I'm not
And
touching
you
Destiny's hand.
are why I believe with every fiber of my being that despite the current state of our union, our best days are still ahead.
Oh, God.
May God bless you, and may God continue to bless these United States of America.
Jesus. Oh, that went about 5 minutes too
All right,
long.
there you-
Okay. I'm stopping that. That went about 5 minutes too long. That end where she's just smiling and giving platitude after platitude, it was slogan after slogan. Jesus, lady, come on. I mean, the propaganda is real, folks, and people like that, yet we kind of need people like that to some degree. Let me do this. Take Fox News off the screen. Okay, so that was it. That was the State of the Union and the Republican response by Katie Britt of Alabama. Wow. Very Alabama, so to speak. Um, so let me just do this before we wrap up and say goodnight. I want to play this clip one more time. This is no, not that one. This one. I want to play this clip one more time because this is going to be your headline tomorrow. This is going to be your mainstream media headline. Maybe not most mainstream media newspapers. Nobody will carry this, but Fox News will carry it. New York Post will probably carry it. And this will be all over Twitter. Everyone on Twitter will be talking about this moment where Marjorie Taylor Greene heckled Joe Biden into talking about illegals killing people.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we...
Yeah, you used it to talk about his kid and his losses. Very selfish, in my opinion. Very selfish of the President of the United States. Oh, dear God. So over on, so we're about to wrap up here, and I would suggest you go over and watch Talk with Sally. Talk with Sally is watching Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones. I'm not going to cover Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones. But yeah, go check out Talk with Sally after we wrap up. On that note, I'm going to give a couple of quick announcements. I tried to give these announcements yesterday on my show, but the end of my show kind of got cut off due to browser issues and streaming issues. Down in the description are links to all my social media platforms. So follow me on those social media platforms because coming up, I've got another special episode that I'm going to be doing specifically about dignity and shame. And I'll be kind of giving my rant about dignity and shame with some video clips and some other things. That's going to be coming up. I'm not quite sure when just yet. So that's why I'm asking you to keep an eye out on my social media platforms because I will be announcing that probably 24 hours before I go live with that. Also, Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, I will be doing my normal broadcast right here on whatever platform you're watching me on. So come back Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Time for that. If you have just a minute, click that thumbs up button below. Feel free to share this on other platforms. Share this around to your friends. Let them know Miles Culture Plate's a fun and friendly place to hang out. I really appreciate you coming. I really appreciate everyone in the chat. Sanglent, Shut Up I Can Cook, Great Liquor, Mike likes tacos. You know, Demon's Wrath. All of y'all. Thank you for stopping by, and anyone who was watching and didn't comment in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate all of my audience. I will be having the whiskey back on Saturday, so no more water. No more water while we're here. Let's see. I think that's about it. I will see you folks then. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good, and I'll catch you then. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.